Figured I'd make a video about this setup I have going on for taking the snapped off wheel bolts out of my 560 SL. So on this side there were 3 snapped and just got the last of the 3 out. Now I stole this setup idea from Ultimate Handyman, I believe his name is, on YouTube, except he was using a really fancy Evolution mag drill, and this is a really cheap $200 one off eBay. It's cheap, it gets really hot, but it works. This is a 15-30 seconds drill bit. I've marked there where I should stop, which is right at there. It's not really that precise, but because I know I'll have enough bite left on the threaded portion of it behind the rotor inside the hub to get some vice grips or bolt grips on it to take it out. So that's that. So that was 3 broken on this side. I have 4 broken on that side, so hopefully it works just as well. Got a Bessie clamp here. I've got some cheapo Harbor Freight one down there. This one cut this for me a couple days ago for very cheap. Just like, I think it's 3/8. Yeah, it's 3/8 steel. And then this was $200. And then this is a Cobalt bit from Harbor Freight. I've been spraying some oil on it, but really this bit is taking it very well. These bolts are actually pretty soft. I should mention that I tried to do this with a hand drill a bunch for days. It is impossible. You cannot do this with a hand drill. Maybe if you have one and you're really good and you start off centered perfectly, probably, but you cannot do this job if you have a ton of broken ones like I do, 7 total in the front. You can't do this any other way. Now, it's gonna run you some money, but hey, this is a Mercedes, this isn't a Toyota Camry, and plus, I get to have a really cool tool laying around for any future projects. Oh yeah, this is a 150 amp Eurovan alternator with a bent shaft, so maybe I'll fix that one day, but for now it is helping support this plate. That's that. Time to take this wheel off. Well, I pulled all that stuff off and pulled the wheel off, and these are all finger tight, so it was definitely that seat and that dissimilar metal corrosion that was holding those seats on so well, no matter how much heat or impact they put on them. So that's that, and that's why you put anti-seize on your Mercedes wheel bolts. I forgot to add, I had one lug bolt in here that had not snapped off, one of the 2 that had not snapped off on this wheel. I had sitting in there to hold this on so my whole rig didn't come flying off the wheel. On the other side, unfortunately, I only have one. If that one hadn't come out, I don't know how I would have kept my whole drill and everything from falling out when I drilled the last one out. It'd be a little scary, so I did get lucky in a certain sense, but yeah, that's a wrap on this. Don't buy this drill. The arbor got stuck. There's a ton of play in the rack and pinion. The chuck wore out and wouldn't hold bits anymore. The chuck key wore out, completely stripped. These will not stay tight in here, and these holes are tapped unevenly. This is not even in terms of load, as in it'll jump at certain points. It's a looser in some places than others. And yeah, that's about it. Don't buy this. Buy an Evolution drill or rent one. I should have done that from the beginning. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. It's a piece of garbage. It worked half the time, and the other half the time this thing really screwed me over. I ended up having to get another chuck, buy another chuck locally, and just use this, and it kept flying off of here, obviously because it's so chewed up. I couldn't even get this out. So don't buy this J1C25 Chinese garbage. Buy an Evolution drill or something similar. They're going to be a lot better, and you can actually keep it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's a paperweight right now. It's such a terrible product. It really made it hell to get through that last wheel. Just wanted to add on one last quick note about bits and wearing bits out and what bits you can use if you keep wearing bits out. My Cobalt Harbor Freight bits lasted for one side and then got through one bolt on the other side and then completely went dull. And a lot of my holes were off center because I was using a hand drill, and it's really not easy to get everything centered up there. I also didn't center punch a lot of the bolts, so that was a problem. Your best bet is to start off centered. That's the key to all of this. But even if you can't do that, there's a secret, and it's these Bosch Blue Granite Turbo masonry bits, and I found these worked really well, and these really just tear through. It's slower than normal bit, but they're tungsten carbide tipped, and they have enough give. They'll bend enough to where you won't snap them if you're slightly off center with the drill. So these were really, really helpful, and these finished off my day. Ooh, that's a cool effect right there. This one, I went as a last resort. I got some crappy other bits from Harbor Freight and they didn't work. So I went to Home Depot, got this 1/2-inch one, and it got through one of the last 2 bolts I was having trouble with, and then completely wore out. And I got through the other one a little bit with this one, and then it wore out. So again, I went to Home Depot and got another one. And these are like $13-14. They're not super cheap, but considering this one saved the day and got the last one out and chewed through that metal like nothing, they did indeed save the day. So these things are my new best friend, and who would have thought that a Bosch product would work so well on a Mercedes? So that concludes the wheel bolt removal process, and I hope this is helpful to some people who find yourself hopefully in not as bad a situation as I was in, but maybe this will help.